I updated my 6'11" pick-and-roll center build, and I'm getting two-handed snatch blocks like I've never seen before. I'm not gonna lie, unless you have a legend account, I don't think the build can get much better than this for pick-and-roll unless you go 95 to 99 strength, which I do see some people doing, and I might even make one in the future to post on YouTube, but your PG needs to be a 3-hunting dog for a build like this to be useful. But today, I'll be showing you a 6'11", 91 strength build to use for pick and roll, and the reason I'm going up to 91 strength versus 83 strength in my last video about a meta 6'11 center that could be used for 5-out or PNR is due to the speed glitch patch. When the speed glitch was a thing, you just had to barely set a screen, rub the defender with your finger, and your guard would be wide open because he's speed glitching. But since it's patched, you really gotta get the defender off your guard, so that's why we'll be raising our strength in today's video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to stay updated on all the latest center content, and if you agree that you need to raise your strength after the speed glitch patch, be sure to like the video and comment down below if you use a similar build or are going to make this exact new build. Now let's jump right into the video. Starting with the build type, your position is going to be center, your height is 6'11", your weight is 247, and that's so that you can have a 91 strength and keep your 63 agility, so that gives you some speed to be able to swing around the court and play the best team defense you still can. Wingspan ends up being a 7'5", which is max for 6'11". And starting with the physicals, your speed ends up being a 70, and we're going to use one cap breaker here later on to get it to a 73. Your agility maxes out right now to a 63. Your strength, we're going to bring it to a 90. The reason why we don't max it to a 91 off the rip is because it gives you one extra interior, which ends up being a waist later on. So you go 90 here so you can keep your 70 interior. And then your vertical, we max out to an 86 so that you can get as many rebound animations as possible. Your offensive rebound ends up being a 94 alongside your D board. And then you +5 both of these to get it to 99, which is pretty important to have in Comp Pro-Am. Your perimeter stays a 40 due to your speed being a 70. Your steal, we raise it to a 73 for that silver interceptor, which is super crucial for being able to play corner D and steal lanes out the corner. Your block ends up being an 84. And this is what I was mentioning earlier, you want to keep your interior a 70 because that's the threshold for you to have silver paint patroller. Your pass sack, bring it all the way to a 93. Super important to have in Comp Pro-Am to be able to throw accurate breaks, whether your shooting guard or lock runs a good route or not. Your ball handle. Now instead of maxing it, we're only going to bring it to a 65, which gets you the Giannis step back. But the reason why I'm not going for a 70 ball handle anymore is due to the patch. The patch makes you really play out the whole animation now. And that pro snatchback animation is kind of long. It kind of takes a while to play out the whole animation. And personally, I don't like it as much anymore now that you can't really cancel out of it. So I'm only going for a 65 for the Giannis cross. It's a lot faster. You can still shoot off of it. And I don't see a reason to waste 5 attributes here to get the pro move, which barely does more for you, which in theory, if you spend more attributes, the move should be better, but I don't really see it being better, so I'm not going to go for 70 anymore. My speed with ball, 55 for the Giannis dribble moves. Now your 3-point, we're going to bring it to a 46 and use cap breakers here later on to bring it exactly to a 79, which unlocks that Paolo go-to move. All you need is a 79. Your free throw, we're going to bring it to a 72, and we're actually going to sacrifice MIDI on this build. We're not going to use any cap breakers here. I mean, if you had a legend account, you could probably use 3 cap breakers here and raise it, but in theory, if you ask yourself how many midis do you really shoot on center in competitive Pro-Am, yeah, when you're goofing around in the rec or something, or starting 5, you might take midi fades or do post moves in the midi and you want to have fun with it, but playing meta 2K basketball and trying to win money and win games and stuff, you don't 100% need a midi on your center. Some people are sacrificing midi this year, so we're going to sacrifice midi on this specific build just so we can be super well rounded. And then your driving dunk ends up being a 76, and we're going to use 5 cap breakers here later on to get it to an 89. And then your standing dunk, we're going to bring it to a 90, which is super crucial to have. And then boom, that's the completed 91 strength pick and roll center build that I'm going to be using. Now jumping into the animations on this build, your pass style is going to be none, your dribble style is Giannis, your size up is Giannis, your breakdown is Giannis, your escape moves is Giannis, your combo moves stay basic, your crossover, which is an important one, is Giannis, behind the back, normal, spin, Jokic, hesitation, basic, step back, another important one, Giannis, and then your Kobe triple threat style. Now for scoring moves, my motion style has stayed Dwight Powell, that's the important one. Your post fade, I've just been using normal even though I don't go to the post fade a lot, and like I said, on this build it doesn't have much MIDI, so we're not going to be looking to go to the MIDI when you're playing on this build. You're going to mainly be looking to dunk or shoot threes. Your jump shot, I still use the same jump shot, Jonathan Isaac, Beluba, Dirk, 90-10, and then 6 ticks pass push. My release speed is maxed, and my animation blending is 90-10. My go-to shot is Paulo still. That's my favorite go-to move. You see me do it in the little mixtape to start the video. Dribble pull-up, Victor Wembanyama. I mean, the only time I'm going to be using this type of thing on this build is if I get like a knee-how for a 3. But like I said, we're not going to be looking to shoot middies or knee-how in the midi or anything like that. Super unnecessary in Comp Pro-Am to really be doing that. My dunk animations, similar to my last video, I got my pro contacts on. For 1 foot, I got quick drops. I got my pro contacts on for that as well. My standing, I got my two-handed underneath. My rim pulls, I got my elite baskets, my elite standing bigs, and my pro standing bigs for my contacts. And then for alley-oops, I have elite and Zion on for regular alley-oops, and then pro and contact on for contact alley-oops. Now jumping into the badges, the biggest difference with this build and my meta 611 build I posted before is having this legend brick wall badge now. Now you can +2 your brick wall and it's legend, and honestly I'm noticing it's a lot more effective than having it on Hoff. And then also mixed with having like the stocky or buffed body type with the legend badge, you definitely see the difference in being able to clip the defender when setting a screen. So we have that. I +2 my posterizer. I +2 my paint patroller, and if you noticed in the beginning of that little mixtape, I showed you like 3 like super cool snatch blocks that I've been getting on my 611. I feel like that has a lot to do with +2ing my paint patroller as well, unlocking those animations. My pogo stick is legend. My break starter is legend. My dimer is legend. +1 those here. Then I +1 my set shot to get it to gold. Like I said, I don't feel it necessary having to +2 my set shot. I only bring my builds into competitive Pro-Am tournaments, so like the field goal percentage you see on my builds when I'm streaming, I have like a 85 plus field goal percentage shooting from 3 on this build, so it's still easy to shoot with gold. It's more than enough. And then my aerial is legends, and then down here when you get your takeover, I +1 my versatile, and then +1 my high flying denier for clutch gene. Now showing the takeover, that's also stayed the same. I've been pretty consistent throughout the year using the same one. I just upgrade my 3-pointer, and I use Dishmaster for the takeover. So it ends up getting my 3-pointer from a 79 to an 89 by the time it's level 5. And for the final look at the build, so you can see how I used my 22 cap breakers, because you do need 22 cap breakers in order to make this build how I did. I use 5 on O board, 5 on D board, 1 on speed, 1 on strength, 5 on 3-pointer, and 5 on driving dunk to get all those thresholds that you really need to be a good center in competitive Pro-Am. And just to see the full attribute shot at the end, if you just want to take a screenshot and copy it that way, this is the full view. Now, if you found this video helpful, if you really enjoy the builds, if you enjoy the type of content I've been making for centers, please just like the video, subscribe if you're new, and stay tuned for the next one.